Conservatives on the count at the moment have picked up 50 seats, or on those 50 seats that they have either gained from Labor or retained at the moment, in large part with thanks to the Brexit Party. And the Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage joins me now. That's right, isn't it? The Conservatives really owe you tonight.
Yeah, they do. I mean, look, I set the Brexit Party up earlier this year because the Conservatives had 3 years to get Brexit delivered, had failed completely. It looked like a second referendum was coming down the track. I set the party up. We won the European elections. We had really, without us, Boris Johnson wouldn't be Prime Minister. And what I did in this election is I stood aside against the existing Conservative seats to stop the Liberal Democrats winning some of those and forcing a second referendum. And I've been fighting Labour in their heartlands, taking a lot of their votes, making it much easier for Boris. So the good news is that Boris Johnson is Prime Minister. The really good news is hard left socialism has taken the kicking of its life because Labour is on for its worst result since 1935. So they're the good things. The worry is, yeah, we're going to get Brexit. We will leave the European Union at the end of January. But are we going to leave properly? Are we going to leave with a clean deal? These are questions, I think, to ask over the course of the next days and weeks. But in a very wet London. But we'll just keep going. But, yeah, listen, big win for Boris. I have helped him do it. But look, I couldn't have borne the thought of this Marxist Corbyn and a second referendum.
He owes you now.
Well, he probably does. I'm not sure he'd give me anything.
I'm not even sure I want anything. You have huge leverage here. You don't like the Brexit deal that's on the table. So what options are available to you now?
Well, I mean, I've got to work that out because... yeah, getting Brexit is one thing, but if it's Brexit in name only, that's not what we need. We've got to be free. Look, you know, we turned our backs on Australia back in 1973. You know, I'll happily drink your wine, but I'll drink more of it with a proper Brexit if we can take off the huge tariffs we put on Australian wine. It's one little example of, if we get Brexit done properly, what it can mean, not just for us, but for our friends around the world. So I'm going to be finding out, working out ways to pressure Boris Johnson into really doing this properly.
So I want to drill down to how you can do that, though. Is this the end of the Brexit Party tonight? Because, as you say, it's served its purpose. There's been talk about you being offered a peerage, so entering the House of Lords. What is the best way for you to continue now and keep up that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, the talk of peerages was they tried to buy me off. You know,
sure,
take a peerage and just go home, Nigel, and be quiet because you're too awkward and difficult.
Well, surely they wouldn't assume that you'd be quiet.
Well, but they try to buy me off. I won't be bought off. Look, I've clearly got quite a big following out there in this country. I will use media. I may even set up a new think tank to try and propagate all the ideas about the positives of doing Brexit properly. Either way, you know, I want to be a constructive, helpful critic of the Prime Minister, and I really mean that. You know, if he tries to do this properly, if he gets us out of the EU institutions, gets us out from under the European Court, if he goes in that direction, great. My fear is that all the pressures of big business, all the globalist pressures that exist in this world will drag him to a direction where it is Brexit in name only.
Well, it looks like he'll get a huge majority. Are you confident he knows what to do with it?
One of the problems with a big majority is that he may just get a little bit soft on this because there is a wing of the Conservative Party in Parliament whose views are very similar to mine.
Soft how?
Well, soft in the sense, look, we either have a clean break from the institutions of the European Union, or we could finish up aligned to European Union rules on everything from financial services to fisheries. And I'm going to go on fighting for that clean break.